Hi, we're going to look at solving exponential inequalities and these numbers involving fractions. So when I'm solving an exponential inequality, that means I have an exponent that has a variable in it. In order to get to that, I need my base numbers to be the same. And if they're not the same, I got to see if I can rewrite them so they are the same. All right, 1,000, I want to see if I can rewrite that another way as maybe 10 raised to an exponent. 10 times 10 is 100 times 10 again will give me that 1,000. So I could take this whole number and rewrite it as 10 to third power. They both mean the same thing. Bring everything down. Now, both my bases are the same. They're both 10. So, good, let's ignore them. Let's create a new problem with just the exponents. So let's move the 2, let's move the 5 using inverse operations. Minus 2, minus 2. And since we're dealing with inequalities, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, that inequality sign has to flip. And we happen to get a negative answer or a fraction as an answer, totally okay. We're allowed that. Now, let's look at this monster. This 1 up top of the fraction helps us out. It means just like nothing's really happening up there, which is fine. Let's just focus on the denominators. I have a 9 down here. Can I rewrite this as 9 to an exponent? Well, 9 times 9, 81. 81 times 9 gives us 729. That's not this. Okay, is there another number I can use? Well, looking at 9, I could also rewrite that as 3 to a power. I could say 3 squared. Okay, so 1 over 3 squared. That's the same thing as saying 9. So can I rewrite 3 to an exponent to give us 243? Well, 3 and 3 gives us 9. Another 3 and 3 gives us 9, which is 81. If I have one more 3 there, if I multiply these two together, that's going to give us that 243, giving us 1 over, we said 3 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth power. Let's bring all those other exponents down, 3n plus 5, n minus 6, and the inequality. Okay, so last time we just took our exponents and just kind of called it a day, moved on from that. It doesn't work because these numbers are in the bottom of the fraction. I don't like that. It complicates a little bit. So using our rules of exponents, if I have a number on the bottom of the fraction, I can move it up top, or I can even move it, I can just move it crossing that fraction line. But when I move it, the negative and positive changes. So this is a positive exponent. I'm going to move this whole number above that fraction line, and it changes it to 3 to the negative 2 power. When we cross that fraction line, this positive becomes a negative, and if you have a negative, you can move it down, turn it positive. So same thing, let's take this 3 to the 5th, we're going to move it up, and that exponent's going to change its sign. So it's going to say 3 to the negative 5th now. Okay, now our bases are the same. We just have to do some sort of distributive property with that negative 2 and with that 5, with that negative 5. So ignore the bases. Let's worry about exponents now, giving us negative 6n minus 10 and negative 5n plus 30. Let's use our inverse operations, move left and right. Add 5n, giving us negative 1n. Bring down that 10. Add 10. Negative 1n less than 40. Divide, because we're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, we got to flip that inequality, giving us n greater than, in this case, negative 40. And that is solving exponential inequalities.